February is Black History Month, and to mark the occasion, News 4 is introducing you to some hidden figures from the DMV. Today, we're introducing you to a criminal justice reformer and reentry expert, Tony Lewis Jr. He's the son of former drug kingpin Tony Lewis Sr., who served more than 30 years in prison. News 4's Molette got a chance to learn about how his father's arrest sparked his mission to help the children of incarcerated parents and returning citizens.
We wanted to bring you here. We wanted to hear your story and the powerful message that you are sending this Black History Month and beyond. You still live on Hanover Place in Northwest, right?
I do.
Same
Absolutely.
Community today.
Same house I grew up in. Been there my whole life.
What are some of the things you saw as a child that led you to a life of community activism?
I grew up abject poverty around us. Not in my house, but around us. A lot of drug addiction, a lot of crime, a lot of violence in our community. And as I grew and was able to navigate my way through that, I thought it was my duty to try to help those around me. And from that, it kind of grew into me helping those, throughout the city. And I've even had some national impacts around criminal justice reform, gun violence prevention and intervention. I believe that, the more focus we put on those that are the most fragile in our community, and in our city, it tends to be Black people under 50 from here, from D.C. And if we could ever stabilize that group of people, I think it's a deposit in the lives of every Washingtonian.
Let's zoom out a little bit. You've been so open about your story. That's what you tell when you talk to people, and how you've been impacted by the war on drugs and the arrest of your father back in the 80s. I grew up during the crack epidemic, but you were able to charter a different path for yourself. How did you do that? I mean, because I remember those days.
Yeah, I think never having being ignorant or blind to the consequences, growing up in a family and in a household and a community where you saw the outcomes, the negative outcomes, prison, death, and having a whole lot of love in my household, and from some of those people that were active in that lifestyle, that told me, it would be in my best interest to take another route. Nobody could really show me that, but I was able to forge that a new route, and that's why, again, I was able to forge a path that I hope others could follow. And that's why I'm so devoted and dedicated to showing that path and being transparent, and really being an open book and talking about all of the pain and the suffering and the trauma. But that at the end of the day, you can make it. And I want to be evidence of that. And education also, I cannot not talk about how important education is and was for my life. It really gave me, I think, some tools that allowed me to make decisions that, a lot of my peers could not make at that time.
And that's what you're telling at-risk teens today, as you mentor them, as you talk to children of incarcerated parents, as you talk and help former inmates re-enter society.
I'm them. I fight for them. I try to be their voice because people are not their worst mistake, right? I believe that in redemption, I believe in accountability, and once people are held to account, then they deserve the opportunity to do it the right way, and not just for their sake, but for those that come behind them.
At 9 years old, that's when your father was locked up, right?
Yeah.
And take me back to that, in March 20th, 2023, when he was released. 34 years in prison.
The weight of the world was lifted off my shoulder. I worked so hard to fight for my dad's freedom. And my dad felt like, of course, with him being given a blessing to be reunited with us and coming home, that he owed it to the generation behind and others to let them know his choices were not the right choices. There's nothing to glorify, and please do not follow in those footsteps. It's been an honor the last almost 3 years to serve the community with my dad, So, it's been great.
For Black History Month, what is your message?
I think we need to be hyper-focused on the economic development, the economic stability of D.C. natives. If we do that, I think it helps us become a more safe city, a more sustainable city, and a more sound city, so that Native Washingtonians don't have to exit or be exiled out of our city, priced out of our city, that they can thrive and that we all can thrive collectively.